Hey everybody, it's Scotty from Scotty's Record Shop with what will probably end up being the last video of 2014, but I said that I would do a December vinyl update. This is kind of, again, kind of misleading. I haven't bought a lot of vinyl in December. I haven't had the money or the time because of because of Christmas and all that other stuff. But vinyl is great. Music is wonderful, but there are things in life that are a little more important, like my kids and my family. And rent. Believe it or not. But what I've done is there's been some stuff that I've been kind of holding off for, waiting for the right time, and it was never the right time. Things that I'd gotten over the year. And it's like, oh, it's the right time. Let's just get it out of the way because I need to show something. So let me put my little mouse down here, and we'll get to it. One of the things I got a while ago was I got this thing for lots, on eBay, like trying to find things really cheap, this amount of albums for this price. Sometimes you get burned, sometimes you don't. But one of them that I got was from an American seller, a bunch of Cliff Richard records, and there's probably 10 or 12 of them in that pile. I'm only going to show one, just for the sake of time, but a lot of them were Greek pressings and UK pressings. There were a couple of American. They ranged from like 76, which is the first one I'm going to show you here, to mid 80s. There were a couple of older ones, a Cliff Richard live album from 71ish or so, and a collection of two albums that he put out in 60 and 61, which were okay, not quite as good as his earlier, more rock and stuff. But the one that I decided to show you, just one I'd wanted for a long time, and it was actually what drew me to this lot, was I'm Nearly Famous, a great Cliff Richards record. In America, it was on Rocket Records, but this is a Greek pressing. I'll show you. It's on EMI. And if I can pull it out without dropping the damn thing, it's on EMI. It's a great album, but it was really nice to find these. Maybe someday I'll show you some of the other Cliff Richards I've got. I like Cliff Richards a lot. All right, a few Elvis records. I was hoping to find more and maybe do a nice little Elvis thing, but all I ever found this year was 4 or 5 of them, so I just want to show those to you. This is a great record. His performance at Madison Square Gardens is an original pressing. The only beef I have about this is there's too much Elvis for one album. Literally, because this is a very long album and probably a little too long for one disc, because the grooves are really, really, really close together, and even though this is a really good, clean pressing, it's not as good as it could have been if it was, honestly, I'm going to go out on a limb. I prefer the CD of this. I just think it sounds better, just because of the way that this was pressed. This is a nice shape. Great album. From the King. Aloha from Hawaii, another live Elvis album. This is the die-cut cover. I guess I'll show it to you. If you see, this comes out, here goes Elvis, And, it's actually, the great thing about this, I didn't realize this until I got it, gatefold as well, double album. The great thing about this, when I got it, I realized it was a quadraphonic pressing. And I surely did not pay a quadraphonic price for this. So, in great shape, really happy to find that. Got this for my wife more than anything, because my wife is a devout Christian, a very conservative, devout Christian. But she likes certain things like Elvis, Johnny Cash, some of their gospel records. I found this one, and I actually really enjoyed it, to be honest with you. Not a bad album from the King. The King does gospel. Alright, another Elvis, one more Elvis. This is an upgrade. Moody Blue. And this is, I know you've seen this all, it's original insert. You guys have seen this. Right, it's blue vinyl. And that's the way it came. I don't know if it ever was issued on standard black vinyl. So, found that at my local record shop, and went, yeah, I need an upgrade. My copy was really kind of trash. Somebody had given it to me, and So I figured, why not? We'll go for it. It wasn't too expensive. The record connection where I go, he actually has quite a bit of Elvis, and it's fairly priced too. Okay, some of these things that I'm not a huge fan. I'm not going to make. I could make a whole video on how I feel about some new pressings of vinyl. My philosophy with new vinyl is if I know that it's going to sound okay and it's cheaper than the original, finding the original press, I'll go for the repress. It's more about music for me than owning the newest hippest thing or whatever. But this one I found really cheap, and I'd always wanted this record. And what drew me to this as well was the fact that it was a mono pressing or mono mix, and those go for a lot of money for this record. It's the very first Blue Cheer record. Got this a while ago. It's a repress 180 gram vinyl. It does have the original Phillips. Looks really well. They did a really good job. It's embossed. Is that the right word? It's erased. This is all raised like the original album was, and really what I paid for it, a fraction of the price. This is another one that a lot of people are buying now. The reissue, the 4-man with beards, I guess it is, or 4-man with hats, whatever. There's a really nice reissue label. Some of my friends have gotten this, and I wanted this record for a while, and I almost got the reissue of it, and then I found this, which was in really decent shape. A lot of people really dig the gatefold on that, the way the gatefold works. And it's an original press on Sussex. And it was not expensive at all. It was actually a lot cheaper than the repress, and it was in good shape. It's VG Plus, and so I went with that one. Bill Withers, still Bill. This one this is my first McCartney archive collection on vinyl. I always loved this record, and I saw it really cheap. It was in great shape, and it came with all the posters and everything. And my Venus and Mars plays, and it plays okay, but I don't have all the posters and all that, the stickers and stuff. I saw this, and I had bought the CD of this when it came out, and I went, oh, I love this. I love the extra disc of material as well. I can't say that about every single McCartney archive reissue, but I love the extra stuff on this one. And I saw this fairly cheap in awesome shape, and I went, I'm going for it. So Venus and Mars reissued. This was another one I found reissue, and I found it cheap, believe it or not. And this is a really, really awesome collection. I've got all the Beatles stuff. Why do I need this? Why do I want it? The packaging is incredible, by the way. There's a poster in here that I will take the time to show you if I don't destroy it. In the process, it's huge. And basically what it is there are 45 covers. This is a huge poster. Awesome poster. Double album. Again, when this came out on disc, I was like, oh, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to get this. I don't really need it. I've got all this stuff already. Again, it was one of these. It was priced right. It was priced. It was calling my name, and I went, you know what? I'm going to go for it and see. I didn't know what the packaging was like, but I was sold. I mean, the packaging of it is wonderful. The sound of it's wonderful. Okay, speaking of wonderful, the represses of these are definitely a lot cheaper than the originals, but they're kind of musts. Etta James, At Last. What do I really need to say about this record? What can I say about this record? It's amazing. But I'll tell you one thing. Everybody clamors for that record. Oh, I want it At Last. It's probably her most popular record. But if you don't get this one, you are missing out. Tell Mama. This is a great album from Etta James. Both of these were mastered, I believe, remastered very well, and compared to how much these would go for in really, really nice mint shape originals, I went for that. This one I'm blaming on my cousin Jim. We got together at the beginning of the year, and he had just purchased this. I have it on CD, which has the stereo and mono. But he was like, yeah, I just bought the vinyl of this, the reissue vinyl at one of our local record stores. And I'm like, oh man, I seen that there. I was going to get it and I never did. And you got it, you bum. But I saw it again there a month or two later. And I went, I'm going to go for this. Pet Sounds. And I'll tell you, what's really cool about this, obviously it's a historic record. But what I liked about this, again, the packaging, it's got the original, a very hard, very nice insert, original capital poly inner sleeve as well, and it's mono, which for those of you who know this album, it just sounds much better in mono, at least the original mono mix compared to the, I think it was actually kind of a fake stereo. Wasn't it like a fake stereo initially? I saw that and I had to get it. Okay. I was really getting into this guy, and these were really, really dirt cheap, a couple bucks each. I'm going to buy them. Billy Preston. I think he's, people connect him to the Beatles, and great keyboardist, though, and a great artist on his own. There you go. All of these albums were on an original insert, by the way. Let me fix my thing again. My mouse. Original insert. This, it wasn't in horrible shape. It wasn't in great shape. The cover was in much better shape. It looked better than it played, but it didn't skip or anything. But maybe someday I'll get an upgrade, at least of the vinyl. Keeping this thing going, and I really like the cover of this one. Another Billy Preston album. I really dig the back cover of this. It's really, I don't know why. It was just some really good music, and not hard to find, not expensive. Preston's known, like I said, for his association with the Beatles, with the Rolling Stones, with a lot of other people. Unfortunately, in his later life, he was known for some stuff that really isn't so cool for some people. But I like to think of the music and not people's personal lives. I try not to get in the middle of that. A couple more Billy Preston albums. Why? Just because they were... Well, this one was in shrink. It had the tag on here. Hype sticker, that's the word I'm looking for. Original press. Billy Preston, The Kids and Me. These are all between 71 and 74. They're all really, really quality. One more Preston. This one was in shrink as well. Price sticker on it and everything else. And in great shape. A great album. And the really cool thing about this album, everybody likes some kind of music. And it's appropriate because this album has all kinds of different styles of music on it, really. Even a classical piece that's completely beautiful that he did. Great stuff. Okay, the crown jewel. Save the best for last. You know that if you've been watching my videos for 2 years now, you know when I say that, you're in for trouble. And you are. I found this and I was like, I am a huge Sesame Street fan. People don't know that. I almost did this video in my Cookie Monster PJs. And I had time in the middle of the day and I wasn't going to throw my Cookie Monster PJs on. This is just so bad that it's good. It really is. Sesame Street Fever from 1978 with Robin Gibb. Just this is just too much. It's a great album. It really is. I mean, I grew up in the mid 70s, late 70s, so disco didn't hurt me too much. But a great album. It's a little pricey if you find it in really good shape, but I found it in a really good price, so I grabbed it. Okay, enough of this silliness. As always, I want to thank all of you for watching. Over 500 subscribers now. It took a couple of years, 2.5 years to do it, but I'm grateful that we're there. Over 60,000 people have watched my videos. I'm really grateful about that. I think that's amazing that you guys would take a little bit of your time out of your day to watch me babble on about my passion, which is music. Alrighty. Hopefully you guys have a safe and happy New Year. I'll be back, unless I'm inspired to do another one in the next week or so. But I will be back next year with some more videos. Until next time, everybody, peace and love.